What's going on, everybody? We're going to go on green chess and play a real-time, no-clock game against the inventor of Trice's chess. You guessed it, Ed Trice. His name is Gothic Chess Inventor. So we're going to go to greenchess.net. Alright, so as you can see, I have a ton of moves to make. For example, I have this game right here where I just won against Jose Coelho, and he had beaten me before, so this is a real good game to win. So I guess you'll get to see me say, "Good game." All right, so I think maybe I'm 1-1 against him. I need to probably challenge him to a rematch and see if maybe I can win the rubber match. But anyway, we're not here for that. We're here to play against the inventor. Let's see. See, I got some other Gothic games to play here, but nonetheless, that is not what we're here to do. So to challenge somebody, actually, it's kind of weird. Yeah, there's other ways to do it, but the way I like to do it is since I want to do it in this variant, I'll just go here and say, oh, I want to invite someone. And then now I say, well, random colors is fine, and it's a public game, that's fine. So then I just want to say, not anyone, but select. And then I go in here and I type in G, and let's see what happens. Does he come up yet? Nope. I always think it's fun to see how many letters do you have to type in before his name comes up. Okay, let's see. Oh, there you go. I had to hit enter. Okay, so there it is. My name is Ed Trice. I invented Gothic chess in the year 2000 after researching 80 square variants for 2 years. To see more about Gothic chess, see gothicchess.info online. I welcome all challengers in Gothic chess. And you can bet that right now he probably should at some point change this because, the name now is Trice's Chess. So I just think I should let you guys know that also you can go to triceschess.com. Okay, well, enough about that. Let's see if we can get a game going here. So which color will I be? I'm black. Okay, so let's let him know what. Right now, we're waiting on him, and I am going to text him to let him know it's set up. Okay, well, let's see what he does. What will the opening be? So I just got done posting a video from chess.com where I had a game. Oh, he's already online. All right, so played the G4 Spike. Trying to get this to where you can see it. The one thing that chess.com has going for it that I'm sure it's one thing that Green Chess has going for it that chess.com does not is that you can see the notation. However, right now you can't really see it. So I'm going to back out here and let's see, how do we do this? I think I want to zoom out a little bit. So where do we zoom out? Okay. It's hard to do without a mouse, but I want to zoom out so you can see that notation. All right, well, Ed's probably wondering why I'm not moving right now, so let's go ahead and make a move. I don't want to do a double spike. Let's just do knight to c6. Okay, while we're waiting on his move, I want to see if I can figure out how to zoom out because I want everybody to see the notation. Oh, there it is, zoom. Duh. There we go. So as you can see, you hit zoom out one time, and now you can actually see the notation. All right, so you cannot do that on chess.com. It doesn't show the notation, which for, I guess, the vast majority of people out there doesn't particularly matter. But, when you start researching openings, you start getting halfway serious about this variant, which I consider to be the best variant, after 8x8 chess. In fact, it's technically, the new name is practically better than chess. So, it's not just Trice's chess or formerly Gothic chess. It's actually going to be called better than chess, and I think that's an appropriate name because it is pretty awesome, and it's on a 10x8 board instead of 8x8 with two super majors, the Archbishop and the Chancellor, that you don't have an 8x8, and so it makes for really exciting games. You can't really just putz around in this game, you got to really go out there and do stuff, but there's so many nuances to it that you don't have an 8x8, and if you try to just apply your knowledge from 8x8, that works to an extent, but not all the time. All right, so we have a little problem here, and Ed's already showing me that the goalpost opening, which isn't, it's not a double goalpost, but we call this the goalpost when white plays this G4, D4. So now I've got an issue because my poor knight is going to get kicked, and if I play D5, he plays knight to C3, and then I have to close off my queenside bishop, and I don't want to do that. So, well, really, probably the best move here is just to play D6. So we'll see. All right. So D6. Now, this is kind of like an Alekhine style thing where you can kick my hip, and there we go. So we'll see. if I'm in trouble already. I have to admit, I'm not really playing an opening I would normally play, but I'm just trying to do something different because, Ed knows everything. And when you're playing against the omniscient creator of the game, you kind of have to mix it up a little bit because he knows all the theory. He basically invented all the theory on this. So opening theory is not my forte, especially against the guy who knows everything about everything. So let's see, what should we do? My knight does have an escape in case he kicks it, but now I can't play the knight to h6, but this is very common in the spike where you see it get pushed the second time. So I guess the normal move here is going to be h6, but do we play g6 first or do we play h6? H6 is the move I would normally see here. I don't know. I mean, personally, for me, I don't feel like h6 does that much right away. I feel like I'd rather play g6, but then that takes away an escape score for my knight if it gets kicked. So, okay, I'm going to play h6, only because I don't know where to put my knight if it keeps getting kicked around. Okay, so what will happen next? He doesn't really need to guard the pawn. It's already guarded by the bishop. All right, yep, so he's kicking my knight around. Right, so if I'd played g6, I would have to actually back up to d7, but now I don't have to do that. And I could have gone to g4, but I'm not so keen on having my knight get kicked by that h-pawn, and then where does it go? Right, so I'm just running my knight around. We'll see what he does next. Got all these little pop-ups. Okay, so he brought his knight out to h3, so simple development. So I've got weird development going here, and he's got normal development going. Now there's something that's kind of sweet here that I don't normally get to do, and that is that I can kind of do a little side step with my dark square bishop over here, right? So the bishop on h8 normally tries to stay on this diagonal, but in this case I could do something a little different, maybe do a little side attack against his chancellor. So that's something we could do. I'm not sure if I want to do it now or later. Could also get my archbishop over here, so this is very different from how I've been playing for a while, but when I first started playing Gothic chess, that's what I did. Kind of tried to get the archbishop over here and didn't know what to do with this bishop. A lot of people end up fianchettoing the kingside bishop. Don't know if that's actually a good strategy, but here I sort of feel like it's okay with an over fianchetto. So we'll try it. It's probably a bad idea, but everything's a bad idea when you're playing against the best player in the game. It's actually just a bad idea to play him, but it's a good way to learn. Although I have to admit that the best way to learn in chess, and probably Trice's chess too, is to play someone that you actually have an outside chance of beating. And this is definitely not the type of guy I think I have an outside chance of beating. However, I think I've drawn him in Trice's chess once or twice, so I'll take that any day of the week. Okay, now knight c3. Now one thing, we got going here is Ed's bringing out his knights, and I always think it's good to get those knights out early. Of course, that's a principle in 8x8 chess, and but we're just I don't know. I'm playing probably like a noob here. These are weird moves, right? Over fianchettoing the kingside bishop. This is the type of stuff you'd probably do if you're hoping to castle queenside. The idea of castling queenside is kind of crazy as black against Ed. So he plays the chancellor to g2, which is actually a happy place for the chancellor to go en route to i3 up here. And so that's where it's going to try to go anyway. So really, I've kicked the chancellor to a better square, and Ed will probably chastise me for that move afterwards. Oh, look, I could kick it to an even better square by playing knight to h4, Then I'll just play probably Chancellor to I3 where it wants to go anyway, and then I'll feel silly because my knight is in a weird spot. But it's good to have that as a possibility in case somehow my knight gets kicked or something. Okay, so what do we do now? Development's a little weird. See, my poor king's knight, where does it go? Fortunately, there's no clock here, so I can just take my time. I don't know. Everything's kind of tangled right now. So for lack of better ideas, maybe I could go arch here. Could bring the knight forward and be crazy. Taking is bad. Knight to h4 is tempting, but what does it actually do? Does it accomplish anything? Bishop here is no good. Oh, I have a crazy idea. I could go knight to h4, then bring the bishop here, and then back off with the bishop and get it on this diagonal instead. That'd be kind of fun. I think I'll just try it just because it's different. Alright, so we're going to go here. It's pretty stupid. So, and then just to show you guys how you do auto replies on green chess, you can actually, especially if you play like something crazy like suicide chess, you can do like a million pre-moves. So I'm just going to show you what an auto reply is like. So you play here. Let's say, so if Ed goes there, I can auto reply with, oh, I'm going here. And Ed is like the king of doing auto replies to checkmate people. It's kind of the most stylish way to win, and also the most I don't want to say humiliating, but annoying way to lose. So, okay, I think I'm going to pre-move auto reply bishop to f5 in case he plays Chancellor to I3 where I think he'll go. So if I'm right about that, then this you're going to see over here on the right side where these tentative moves, conditional moves, will actually take place. You'll see it like go blink, blink. Oh, he went I1, so then my auto reply move did not actually happen. Well, I can still play bishop to g5, f5. All right, so where do we go? Yeah, the problem with bishop f5 is that I might now have to worry about retreating with my knight. But the good news is if he plays I3 to kick my knight, I could go to j5. And knights on the rim are dim, but I don't hate it. See, I could go bishop to g4. It's a little bit of a bishop lunge. Don't know if that's bad or not. I don't know. It's kind of weird because where do you go with the bishop after that? I don't think it's bad though. Oh, but you know what? It won't be guarded, and he could play something like arch. Well, he won't go arch there because of that discovery, right? I don't think he would do that. I don't think he would walk into a discovery. So bishop g4 doesn't look too terrible, actually. Looks much more playable than I ever would have imagined. So, you know what? We're going to try something crazy. Let's go bishop g4. Why not? And of course, the answer is Ed will show me why not. So anytime you wonder why a move might be bad, just play Ed, and then Ed Trice will be more than happy to show you why a move is bad. That's how you learn, right? Okay, bishop g4. All right, queen to d3. All right, so that means he can push his e-pawn with impunity. Also, I was hoping to kind of put my archbishop on h2, and I can't do that right now. I could play bishop f5, kicking the queen, but he would just block with the pawn on e4, and I'd feel kind of silly, maybe. He's probably thinking, what is this ridiculous opening that Doug is playing here? And to be honest, I'm wondering the same thing, because I don't ever play this. But you know what? It's fun to try something different. And we'll give Ed a different way to beat me this game. He's probably bored of beating me the usual ways. So where do we go? I don't know. It's a weird position. It's funny to see his Chancellor over there on I1. You just don't ever really see that. It was a very strange opening. So at least I should get some points for creativity. Okay. Well, for lack of better ideas, I guess I'm going to go ahead and let him kick my bishop. So then, Ed is like the king of auto replies. I'm a little surprised he didn't already auto reply, but maybe he just thought that move was so stupid I would never play it. So then, bishop g6, and he could push me again with the pawn to f5. So then, if that happens, and I assume it will, should I go back? Yep, and there it is. So I didn't quite get my pre-move in, but I'm thinking let's go here. Yeah, this looks good. We'll try this. So I wanted to auto reply that to look cool, but I did not, because Ed is also cool. In fact, Ed's probably a lot cooler than I am, especially when you're playing this game, because guess what? He is the inventor. That's right, I'm just a schmuck and he is the inventor. Oh, gosh, I just completely clicked that. All right, here's his profile in case you were wondering. All right, let's go back to the game. As you can see, I have a lot of other moves to make, but let's get back to the game. All right. Now, see, on chess.com, I don't know, they might have said I disconnected and think I'm cheating by, like, using an engine or something because they're paranoid. But there's nothing to worry about here because it's stupid green chess where, guess what? There's no ratings. I shouldn't say stupid green chess. I play on here all the time. I love it. But what I'm trying to say is there's no ratings or ladder. But I hear the inventor is trying to, like, maybe add a rating system or at least a ladder. And I think that'd be really cool. But the nice thing about green chess is there's not a whole lot of ego attached to it. So it's like the best place to go and practice. There's no clock. You have like a week for a move. Take all your time in the world. So it's a great place to train. And if you lose, it's like, oh, well, there's no rating system. Okay, so now I think my knight is starting to get into a slight bit of danger. Things are starting to feel a little cramped. Oh, I was going to say I could take this pawn here and then get my knight out. Then his knight comes forward and he could take here, but it is guarded, so maybe that's okay. Let's try it. What do you say? I feel like I'm just running out of space here. I need to do something. So, okay, I'm just going to take here and let's auto reply. So if he goes knight here, fortunately my bishop is guarded, but there's this nasty discovery on the long diagonal, so I should say one of the long diagonals. In 8x8 chess, there's only one. Oh, he took with the bishop. Oh, that's a fork. Oh, but it's not totally a fork because my knight's not actually, like my knight is guarded. So thank goodness. To be honest, I was kind of brain dead there and didn't think about it. So I almost walked into a fork where I hung a piece. And that would have been very embarrassing. But thankfully, the bishop was already guarding the knight. So I could just simply block. But yeah, so what I was trying to say is that, in 8x8 chess, you have a long diagonal for the light squares and you have a long diagonal for the dark squares. Well, guess what? In Trice's chess, the 10x8 board, you have the bishop starting out on long diagonals, basically being fianchettoed, so you don't even have to develop your bishops to quote-unquote develop them. You can use them to their fullest without even doing anything besides moving the pawn that opens up that diagonal for them. So how many long diagonals are there? You got 1 and 2 light square diagonals, but that's just pointing that way because guess what? Long. And so there actually, I never really did this before, but I now see that there's 3 long light square diagonals, and then there's going to be just as many dark square, long diagonals. So you have a total of 6 long diagonals as opposed to 2 and 8x8. There's something. I don't know if anybody's ever actually taken the time to count those. Maybe I'm the first. Makes me a genius. Okay, so I don't know. Why would he play that move? I have no idea why he just played that move, honestly. J4? I don't know. I mean, that's something I am expecting that normally, maybe he wants to trade. No, but I still got that knight there. Now, this guy's pinned, so I don't know. It's kind of weird. Oh, you know what? Maybe, is he thinking? Nope, I have no idea. So I really don't know why he just played J4. It's one of those crop pawn things that Ed does in all games, especially 8x8, but he does it in this variant, of course. But I don't know. I've got 2 knights and a pawn guarding against him, pushing it again, so. Or at least I have 1 knight and a pawn because this guy's pinned. So should I kick his bishop? That'll weaken my light squares a ton, and he could see if I play like this move here to f6, then eventually his knight goes there, and then it goes there. Oh, you can actually click on pieces and see where they can go. So you see like, oh look, it could go there, and then oh no, it goes there, and then oh no, he's forking me. So I really just can't play this move here, g6, and I'm sure, or f6, and I'm sure Ed is well aware of that. So that is a bit of a problem. Alright, so If I go g6, that kind of challenges the center, but then my poor knight there is getting weaker by the second. It's just kind of hard to develop here right now. Ed's already got me in a bind, or did I put myself in it? I'm not sure. I almost think I need to, like, I think I maybe will abandon castling this game, you know, just like move my rook so I can move this knight. Yeah, I think I might actually go ahead and play rook here. It's not good, though, because then I'll never be able to castle kingside, but as you can see, things are looking pretty dicey castling kingside. Is there any way I could, like, slip out of here and castle queenside real quick? I would very much like that. Oh, no. I don't know what to do. Could play, I think I'll play queen d7. That way my pawn gets moved. So this is a silly move, I guess, but, you know, now I can push this pawn. And then also I get the queen off the back ring, so if I can just figure out where to put that chancellor, I can maybe get out of dodge and go kings over here to c8 and castle queenside. I don't know. Oh, wow, so you can just do that. Oh, yeah, because of the pin. I'm such an idiot. I know all you guys watching this are like, wow, you didn't see that move. So obvious. Yes, yeah, I should have played the rook to i8. Should have played rook to i8. All right, so basically that forces me to play this move that's really not good. Okay, I think we can survive. Now that I've moved my queen, though, there's no royal fork here, so I can actually play this move. So I can play f6. If he takes, then there's no longer this pawn fork. And then if this knight dances into here, I can get my archbishop out of the way and then just slide the king over to g8. So obviously things are going poorly. Now against Letchworthshire, that game I just played on chess.com, you know, I made it to move 32 before I got smashed. Oh yeah, here's a case where I could have very easily pre-moved. Because obviously I needed to recapture with the bishop if he took there, which was expected. So yeah, anytime you see a chance to do an auto reply, you should do it because you look cool when you know what's going to happen. It's like I'm psychic, or just able to calculate well. But yeah, that was pretty obvious, right? Capture, recapture. So that'll speed things up when you're playing turn-based games. You know, do auto replies so you can kind of move forward more quickly, rather than they take like 3 days to make a move, and then you make a move, and then you have to wait another 3 days. But if you do an auto reply, they'll see that, oh yeah, he recaptures, so they'll just keep playing. So you can like dramatically increase the speed of a turn-based game like this. However, Ed and I are playing real time. Ed was gracious enough to give me a non-clock game, which is really good. Okay, especially because I don't know what I'm doing now. Remember what I said? That he's gonna. I pushed here, so I've weakened this. So here comes that knight, just like we expected, right? We knew that was coming, so we have to go here. So then we auto reply. He goes here. Well, I don't think I want to bring my king up, so I'm going to go here. Then what? Let's just auto reply everything. Like, oh, then it goes here. So then, okay, well, my knight needs to go somewhere. I guess I would go here, right? I don't want to put it on the side of the board, so I'm just auto replying. Do I really know what's going to happen? No, because Ed's good, and I'm not, or at least not as good as he is, or anywhere close. But when you see moves that are like, oh, I get kicked, so I need to go somewhere, and oh, he captured, so I need to recapture, so you can speed up the game. Just general advice for when you're playing turn-based games and you're impatient like me, because I have movitis and have to play 100 games, as you saw when we were in the home screen. So speaking of which, to that point, while we're waiting on Ed's next move, look, at any moment I can just jump out of here and say, oh, look, I got all these games. I always like to go to the games that are over first and say, okay, so here's an extinction in game, and this guy resigned. Don't want to spend too much of time on this because it's a different variant, but so he said good game, so I said, okay, good game. So we get that one out of the way, and then let's see if Ed's moved in our game. And he has not moved yet. So maybe he's grabbing a drink or something. Oh, he moved. Alright, so, oh, here comes a Chancellor challenging my my regular bishop. Okay. Also, he's X-raying my king, and it is guarded once, so I've got it guarded twice, he's got it attacked twice. Ooh, what do we do? The bishop is under threat. It is en prise. And it looks like my bishop might be not long for this world. I think I actually have to play something like this, or else I'll just walk into a pawn fork. So I'm going to play this move. guards the bishop, and if he takes, I have to recap. Oh, so we can actually do an auto reply. Boom, boom, auto reply. You have to be careful with those auto replies because they don't let you undo them. So if you auto reply and then realize you blundered, then you are stuck. You're locked into your blunder, and then you just get to sit by for days at a time waiting to maybe walk into a checkmate in one that you saw after you pre-moved the wrong move. Oh gosh, this is bad. Now he's coming after my bishop, and yeah, it's not looking good. So I guess I'm probably going to lose that bishop. It's going to go pawn fork. So yeah, I guess we'll just go ahead and bring this knight out. I'm just auto replying now. We know he's going to take here. I lost a bishop. I don't really have to do anything with that knight immediately. I'm not going to get the castle. Okay, so I'll go ahead and block here because, and I don't think it would tick, but just for fun, we'll say, okay, this is how I would auto-reply it. I'll just auto-reply. You can just do this for fun, it's not probably going to actually take place in the game, but if it did, I would look like I'm really smart because I saw the moves coming, and it'll speed up the game. And just for fun, if you guys are wondering how we got to this point, let's say you have a short attention span, you kind of zoom through the video without really paying attention because it's a long one, right? We're already at 26 minutes. So here I can just be like, oh, here's how the game went. And so now you can just kind of play right back through your moves and say, oh, how did we get to this terrible position that I'm in where I just hung a bishop? This is how it happened. Well, it's actually playing through the pre-moves that haven't happened, though. So, the last 4 ply or 2 moves didn't actually happen. So now we're just kind of waiting. Oh, okay, so you actually played queen over instead of whatever the move was I thought was going to happen. Oh, I think I was just saying if he captures, I recapture. Okay, so I'm down a piece for a pawn. He's ripped the king side open already. He can castle queen side with impunity. So yeah, besides that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play? Yeah, so it's going bad. But I did jam up his whole... Look at that, he's got like a nasty battery on this file here. That is not good for me. So let's go here. All right. Now look at this. I could actually try to do something with my bishop and knight. Oh, and that also prevents him from castling long. So no longer can he castle queenside with impunity. All right, so I guess we could do some pre-moves, right? Auto reply. If he takes here, then I would take here. And then if he gives up I think we call that the light exchange. Or is that the heavy exchange? Maybe that's the heavy exchange. I always get those mixed up. Ed can put in the commentary which one's which because I always forget. Then what he goes here. So that's actually not too bad for a white. You think, oh, giving up a queen for an archbishop, but look at that. He's ripped things open. Oh, he didn't do that. Okay, so now he's got his archbishop. So look at his super majors are all getting into... No, I don't want to take a break. I'm playing chess. Okay, so, oh, he's got a pin. He's got a pin. That knight is pinned twice. Oh, and now he can... Oh, I'm in big trouble. Oh, no, I'm in big trouble. I am in big trouble. Okay, so what? We'll go here? Why not? You know what? I'm just going to start moving quickly because, the end is near. But, okay, we're at move 24. So at this point, we have no hope of a win. That's a joke. And then we have basically no chance of a draw. So we're just trying to do what we did against Letchworthshire. As I mentioned before, I just got done playing him on chess.com. And I was happy to get to move 32 because he has a habit of destroying me. And guess who else has a habit of destroying me? This guy. So I am... hoping to make it to move 30 against Ed Trice. And you would think making it to move 30 is not something to be proud of. Now, in 8x8 chess, making it to move 30 is, not that hard. I mean, just making it to move 30, like without getting checkmated is like pretty easy in 8x8 chess. You might be down a queen and a couple rooks and you're dancing your king around, check, check, check. But, making it to move 30 without getting checkmated in 8x8 chess is pretty easy, right? So, I mean, if you just refuse to resign. All right, so as you can see, he took my knight, and I didn't pre-move this because I didn't foresee it happening. But now I'm going to take there with check, so of course he's in check, so he's going to take back that way. So we're just doing auto replies just to show you, I like to do this for illustration purposes, and also I do a lot of auto replies anyway. Now, here's what I think is going to happen. He's going to go here. It'll be fun to, just keep your eye on this thing. Oh, he's already made a lot of these moves, it looks like, because, yep, boom. So everything I expected to happen happened. So, on Ed's side, on his screen, he's seeing a lot of these auto replies, like, oh, wow. And is he impressed? Of course not, because they're, like monkey moves that anybody would, a 5-year-old would have made those moves. They're just capture, recapture, Patzer sees check, Patzer gives check. So he gave up the heavy exchange, I think. So now I need to save my rook. If I go here, he's actually got this nasty look. He's taking care of this. He's got this pin. It's like a discovery and a pin. And he can check me there, and that's really mean. It's a good thing I got this Chancellor guarding over here. Oh, look at this. He's got Archbishop to here. And that could put me in check and get my queen. So he can get his heavy exchange right back. No problem. There's even like this problem here, but I don't know. So it's getting nasty. Can I make it to move 30? We'll see. All right, so since we have no aspirations of winning this game or even really drawing, a lot of times it's just like, well, which move drags the game out the longest? All right, so if I play rook to here, you can check me on I7, and that probably is really bad. So if I go there, I can go there, yada yada. Okay, so I think I will actually play this move. Yeah. So I wanted to kind of, my reflex was to play rook h8, but I noticed that the archbishop going there to I7 would have checked me. Oh, he did that kind of anyway. That was pretty much what I expected. Now, if I run over here, I lose a rook, right? So that's out. So we only have 2 moves to choose from. I could go there, but then he's got this nasty check. Could go here, and I don't see. Oh, he's got Chancellor up. I didn't see that. So if I go to h7, he's got Chancellor there, check. Ouch. If I go there, he's got Chancellor there, check. Ouch. Alright, so, okay. Well, we'll try this one. Can we make it to move 30? Can I avoid checkmate in the next 2 moves? I sound like I feel like I could, don't I? But I'm not sure. Well, I have 1 legal move, so don't think too hard, right? That's definitely a case where if Ed had a little time, he would have probably auto-replied, and Ed's like the master of auto-replying like 4 or 5 moves, and then you have no choice but to get checkmated in 4 or 5 moves, which is slightly embarrassing, except for the fact that you're playing the best player in the game, because he invented it, and he's the best player. At least I think so, but you know what? There's some people out there that might say, hey, yeah, I've beaten Ed, like Susan Polgar. See, Larry Kaufman. You can check out those games at triceschess.com. In case you don't believe me, there's a few people. Oh, man, I totally didn't see that move. Okay, but guess what? It's move 30, so haha. That's a moral victory for me because I didn't get checkmated. All right, so we have the moral victory of making it to move 30 as black, no less. Okay, so what do you think? He's going to take the bishop? And then what up? Oh, wow. Yep. That always surprises me. I guess that I should have seen that coming. So I have no legal moves but here. Does he have a checkmate? I don't see one. But he is checking a lot, so, I say Patzer sees check, Patzer gives check, but that's not always true, right? Like if you can check your opponent and keep your attack going, then you want to do that. So here I have 1 legal move. If I had really thought about Archbishop going to f7, then I could have done an auto-reply. But we're not really worried about auto-replies much when we're playing a real-time game. But when you're doing turn-based, you make a move and then you're like, oh, I have to wait like a day or 2 before they make a reply. So then you can like plot out, everything. Oh, so I had, as you can see, my last 3 moves have been totally forced. So if we weren't playing real-time, I can pretty much guarantee you that, oh, and I see checkmate now, Chancellor to h7. So unmated, but I made it to move 33. Or is that 34? Yeah, it's 34. So that's a moral victory for me. Yeah, if this had been a turn-based game, like a truly turn-based game, then Ed would have probably pre-moved, auto-replied the last 4 or 5 moves, and then it would have been a very tough loss for me. Well, it's a tough loss anyway, but what I mean is, like, it's not very fun when you get auto-replied into checkmate. But Ed does that a lot, so if you do play Ed in a turn-based game, just be ready to get auto-replied a bunch of moves into checkmate, which, is called style points. And I can say that I totally respect and admire that, because I wish I could do that more often myself, but I have done it a few times. Anyway, so that's it. I got a bunch of other moves to make, even other Gothic chess moves. So, I'll get back to that. These games are going to be a little bit more difficult because I'm trying to, like, beat people that I can hopefully actually have a chance against. But if you want a good lesson, play against Ed and, challenge someone really strong. Like, you got Jensen DK, Gothic Chess Inventor, Letchworthshire's on here. Yeah, there's a bunch of people you can play. See, who else am I playing on here? Oh, there it is. Yes, Timber. So, we got some good games going here. And also, we have tournament games on here, like from Discord. You should join the Discord, and then you can get involved in these money games. You might have seen my video, the how to make over $100 per game playing Gothic chess, and that featured games on chess.com or greenchess.net. All right, y'all. Well, I lost the game, but I made it to move 33, which is even one move or one ply deeper than when I played against Letchworthshire on chess.com. So no wins, but moral victories for me. So look, I got a message. I'm gonna guess he said GG. Let's see what he said. GG. Oh, GG. Good game, Doug. I say thanks, Ed. All right, y'all. Well, it's been fun. So if you like this video, make sure to smack that like button and hit that subscribe button down low, and then you want to share this with everybody, and put some comments down there like, hey, this is awesome, I'm going to play you online. And then go on greenchess.net and start playing. Get on the Discord group for Trice's Chess. Play Gothic Chess on chess.com. Play wherever. And let us know who you are. We can play you in person, because Ed's talking about coming to town and hanging out with me again in person, and that's always exciting. So, all right, y'all. Well, it's been fun. We will see you in the next video.